Hello and welcome to the ROKER RAPPORT EXILES podcast in association with Hawks Breweries. Today on the pod we have Paul, who's down in London, Bomber, who's from that well-known suburb of Colchester called Gloucester, and we also have on the pod today, for the first time on the Exiles pod, but one of the original voices from the ROKER RAPPORT back in the day, we have Jim Holmes. So you stepped away, but you said that if ever we start an Exiles show, we should get you involved. And so here you are. So how are you doing, Jim?
I'm very well. Delighted to be back involved. Been on the bench for far too long.
So you're living down in London now. How long?
Unfortunately, I've been down here too long. 8 years. I moved down after university. I get a couple of away games a season, probably 4 or 5 away games a season, and then as many home games every time I go back. I've only been to a couple this year, unfortunately. The uplifting 1-1 draw in the opening day and the uplifting 1-1 draw away at Ipswich. But you can follow them as much as you can, whether it be through dodgy streams or on the radio.
Absolutely.
No dodgy streams.
No,
of course.
no, of course not. No, I was abroad.
Absolutely nobody uses them, do they? No.
Parasite.
No one at all.
Okay, don't let Tory Charlie catch me.
We've had an interesting week as Sunderland fans, haven't we? It's been a bit of a roller coaster with Parky's first couple of games. We had the away day at Wycombe, which we'll come on to later. But first of all, I think we'd better deal with the 5-0 victory at the Stadium of Light on Tuesday
remind me of 5-1.
5-1.
You don't want any memories of that?
No. Well, it almost was. I mean, Burge
very much so.
Kept the clean sheet with a fantastic save, actually, in the second half. But was anyone there?
No.
We were there. So we were watching on SCFC.
Or Skybet.
Skybet, yeah.
Yeah, Skybet. I had that as well. I was getting very annoying goal alerts just before the goals went in.
Yeah, same.
Which you could.
No commentary on Skybet, though, which...
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
It was lovely, actually. I really enjoyed that.
I was going to say, it's probably quite refreshing.
Well, through my headphones, I could hear a couple of people in the crowd and their comments on the game. So it was actually quite nice. So, lads, what do you think of the performance? Who impressed you most?
I think everyone was a sort of 7 or 8 out of 10, I think, which is a nice change. I think it had pretty much everything, clean sheet. Grigg got off the mark. But the one that impressed me the most was, I think, Duncan Watmore. I think we're such a different team with him in the side. He just brings a completely different dimension to our game, and by that I mean he's got pace and he'll actually go at players and make things happen. He's not the most technical player in the world, but at least he's direct and he's unlike anything we've got in the squad, really.
Yeah, I mean, Parky was saying in his interview today in his presser about how impressed he'd been with Watmore right from the first training session, and that he really does offer us something different and something that we've been missing. He's not looking an absolute certainty for the game at Shrewsbury on Saturday, though.
No,
let's hope he wouldn't play, wouldn't you? I mean, he's been out for so long. You just think if you can keep that lad fit, he could completely turn our season around. He's just by far and away the quickest player we have in a team, and we're a team that's completely devoid of pace most of the time, aren't we? So, he was. I completely agree with you. I thought it was unbelievable.
Considering he played on Saturday as well, 3 games in a week is going to be far too much, considering how little football he's had. Last I can't even remember the last time he got
2 years. Really,
I was going to say since he pulled a string of games together, I can't remember. So 3 in a week is going to be far.
Under Moyes, probably the last time that he was really got a couple of when he had Anichebe alongside him, maybe.
Yeah. I think when we went 3 up as well, I don't know about you lads, but I was like, just take him off now.
Wrap him in cotton wool.
Yeah. Once the game was done, I was kind of like, let's not risk it. He's broken down playing less minutes than this. So once the game was over and we didn't necessarily need that pace to threaten them, I was kind of shouting at the telly to pull him off. So
Cut that out. But you couldn't really ask for more, could you? I mean, it was clean sheet, so much better. It's what we kind of wanted to see from Ross, didn't we, all this time? I mean, it we were almost playing within ourselves, and it was nice to see them try and get the best out of Will Grigg. You know, we got the ball forward quite quickly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing direct football. You know, it was just, you know, that we penetrated it a lot quicker, and you know, it was probably Denver Hume's best game at left back.
Yeah.
It really was such a welcome surprise, because I was dead nervous before the game. I really was. I thought, you know, say for example, if we'd won narrowly, I think there'd still been a bit of pressure on him. You know, he's come in, lost the first game. If we'd just kind of scraped over the line against what was a shocking Tranmere side, let's be honest, you know, there would have been pressure on him. You know, he would have had to win 2 or 3 games to get the fans fully on side. But a 5-0 win, you know, it's the first time in God knows how long. I don't know if I've seen Sunderland win 5-0. I mean, it
was 20 odd years, wasn't it? 20 or at home anyway.
To be Oxford 7
20 years, it's 5 now.
I mean, I saw that starting lineup, and it was like a breath of fresh air. I think I tweeted about it at the time as well. You know, to see that there's not a single, like what you would class as a holding midfielder, and actually, apart from the centre backs, I would class every other of the 8 on the pitch, if you exclude obviously the goalkeeper. The other 8 are all attacking players. You know, there's not a single real, even the fullbacks. Luca Nine's not really a defensive player.
Yeah.
Denver Hume, you know, we talk about him going forward more than we talk about his defensive capability. And through the midfield and up front, it was just packed full of offensive talent. And it's no surprise to me that we ended up scoring 5.
Yeah.
And I think you need to have that attitude, because we have been struggling to keep clean sheets. So, you know, let's go out with an attitude to go, okay, if we keep a clean sheet, great. If we don't, we're going to beat you 4-2. We're going to beat you 5-3. Exactly. Who cares? As long as you're getting the results.
And we've not done that all season, and we didn't do that under Ross at all. I mean, I actually quite liked Jack Ross for the majority of his reign, but it just felt like this team is capable of so much more. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, yes, we lacked a bit of pace, and we have players who are a little bit patchy, like Chris Maguire is probably the definition of patchy. You know, he has. I mean, he was unbelievable the other night, but you know, he does go missing now and again. But just to see a team that just seemed to like want to really put someone to the sword and not take the foot off the gas at 2-0, you know, or even 1-0 like we did under Jack Ross. We would just thought, you know, keep going. And I was unbelievably delighted to see Will get a goal, because we just know if we get him firing, you know, it's going to be the difference, isn't it? I think so anyway.
Yeah, I was surprised he started, to be fair, because on the way back, Will Grigg, because on the way back from the Wycombe game, a few of us stopped off at the services, and we actually saw him in the services, and he was limping so badly on his left leg.
Oh, really?
It was really bad. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was Niall asked him, "You all right, Will?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm not too sure." He was limping really bad, so I was surprised to see him start and actually play 90 minutes.
No, he did good. I think out of everyone that's probably benefited from Parkinson's coming in, he looks like the one that's got a new lease of life. I don't know if you'd agree.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Fresh start for him, isn't it? I mean, he probably felt really stale under Jack Ross. I mean, I think the whole club, to be honest, felt a little stale. I think we were all just had the wind taken completely out of our sails as a fan base after the 2 losses at Wembley. So to see a manager come in, obviously his opening result wasn't the best, but the result the other night, honestly, it makes just a world of difference. And you know, if he can put 2 or 3 good wins together, you know, it just completely turns the season around. Because I mean, I think we're only a couple of wins off automatic places, really. You know, we're still so early in the season.
If you look at Ipswich losing yesterday, Peterborough now sit top of the league. And, you know, I think that are we 5 points or 6 points? 5 points off a second?
It's wide open, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's about 8 or 9 teams that are all within sort of 5 or 6 points of each other now.
Yeah.
The whole league seams to have kind of concertinaed over the last kind of week or so. I mean, the gap from top to bottom is not massive.
No, not at all.
And I mean, going back to the game on Tuesday, I mean, it's been mentioned already, but I thought Maguire's work rate was fantastic. I mean, I text my dad to say Maguire's tracking back. You know, he was really tracking back. It wasn't necessarily always the most effective tracking, but he was getting himself in the positions, you know, making a nuisance of himself. And the system, right from top to bottom, was pressing. It was high energy, and you know, there were players who didn't even make it onto the ROKER Rapport's pool for man of the match, like Max Power. Who had a fantastic performance.
Yeah, I wanted to raise Max Power, to be fair. I wanted to bring him up because there was a bit of certainly in the ROKER Report group chat, there was a bit of a mixed bag. Like some people saying they didn't see him really or didn't see much of him. But for me, he was just head and shoulders above everybody. Goals aside, goal scorers aside and scoring goals, obviously those people would take the plaudits. But Max Power, everything just seemed to go through him. He was, dare I say it, at risk of being shot down by everybody on social media. He was a bit of a Rolls Royce on on Tuesday.
Do you know, I think he's got Dobson alongside him. I think Dobson, I don't want to sort of blame Ledbetter for last Saturday's defeat, but it's just so nice to see some legs and some athleticism in the centre of the park, isn't it?
Yeah, he does, because he is. You are right. He's got a lot of energy. You can't really fault him for that. I guess it's just his decision making at times. You think, I guess he's young, isn't he? So
he's only 22.
Yeah, but I mean, he did make a few errors. He was the only one on the night where I thought on the ball he probably made some bad decisions, but off the ball, as you say, like maybe even just subconsciously, Max Power knowing that he has someone with energy and legs around him, kind of frees him up a bit. Because if he's playing alongside Grant Ledbetter, who we all love Grant, he loves the club as much as anyone, but he is slow, and that's an understatement. And just having someone who just allows you to take the reins off a little bit, that probably does free him up.
I mean, he did play Waltmore through for the first goal. It was a lovely pass. Is that right? It was
Power or Dobson?
Dobson.
Yeah, he almost scored himself as well, didn't he? He had that run where it just kind of opened up for him in front of goal, and the shot was a bit tame in the end, but the actual run with the ball was brilliant.
No, I mean, as regular listeners will know, I admire the lad. I think he's got a lot of quality himself, and like you say, alongside Max Power, I think they make a really energetic midfield pairing.
Yeah. This league's a lot about being first to the ball. I think that's what I've sort of noticed the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I think Wickham were that much better than us, but they were just quicker to the ball.
Yeah, we were very standoffish, weren't we? Very standoffish.
Yeah. It was a Jackie Jack Ross performance, wasn't it? Like, I mean, it was ponderous and it was slow, and I really hope they carry this forward, because we've seen this from Sunderland side before. We've seen Chris Maguire, what he can do. We know that he, on his day, he's arguably one of the best players in this league, right? I know it's only League One, but he has got absolute quality. Look at playoff semi-final last year, for example. And I really hope he can string a line of performances like that together, because if he like someone like Will Grigg, if he can become consistent, and Max Power's another one, there's plenty of time left in the season, and we're more than capable of getting promoted here. We just need to hope that Phil Parkinson can just keep them focused, keep their feet on the ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't realise that. Go on, sorry.
Sorry, I have to say, like, Parky has impressed me in terms of how he's spoken about the team, about his analysis of both our own performance and the systems and tactics of the other teams. He was talking about how Shrewsbury play, and we'll come to that in a bit. But he was interviewed, I think, by Caroline Barker on the Totally Football League show after the game on Tuesday, and he was very kind of sober and sensible about it. But you could just tell that he had confidence in himself, and he's got confidence in the group of players.
Yeah, he just kind of quietly goes about it, doesn't he? Like, in his interviews, he's always very calm. Well, so far, I can't say he's done probably 5-6 interviews for us, but he seems very calm, very measured, very sure of himself, without coming in and saying, I've been there, I've done it. We're going to go win the league. I'm going to go get Stuart Donald his 100 points. He's just calmly going about his business and saying, we've got work to do. And he seems to look at each and every game with a view of, I might need to change that for this opposition because they have these strengths or these weaknesses. Whereas Jack Ross seemed very much, this is my style of play. Well, question mark, did he have a style of play? But this is my formation. This is my starting 11. And irrespective of who we're playing again, this is what we're going to do. And it backfired on him so many times. Whereas it seems, certainly in the interviews I've seen, that his approach is a lot different, in that he'll go, right, okay, that's that game done. What do I need to do to prepare for the next game? How do I need to tweak things? Who do I need to bring in? What style of play do we need to change, etc.?
Do you think he's just more pragmatic? Do you think, like, obviously with the experience he has at this level, maybe that's what it brings? I mean, I do hope that, I just want to see this team be arrogant. if I'm honest. I'm sick of this league. And I'm sick of teams coming to Sunderland for a lovely day out. Like, do you know what I mean? I want them to be arrogant and go and win and put teams to the sword like they did on Tuesday. And I guess the next few weeks are gonna prove that. You know, we need some arrogance. We need to get out of this league as quickly as possible.
Do you know, it's funny you say that, because I was watching the when the Sunderland website they released like the highlights and the backstage stuff. So I watched that this morning, and the one thing that struck me is that obviously you got the Sunderland players all coming down the steps into the change room having a laugh and a joke. And I saw the Tranmere players come down, and they're all coming down in single file, like looking around in some sort of like amazement, as if
in awe.
I can't believe that we're here. Yeah, and we need to take that, because we know that half the teams in this league will come to the Stadium of Light and be a little bit in awe, because it is, without being disrespectful to any of them, probably the biggest stadium they would have played in and the biggest crowd, etc. And we need to play on that and be like, do you know what? Yeah, you are coming up to us, and we do need to have a bit of swagger and a bit of arrogance about it.
Yeah, who everyone's cup final is, aren't we? I think.
And you saw that with the what was your man's name at away at Wickham with his that Twitter video. Honestly, I've never seen anything so small.
Come down here with your Sunderland attitude.
Yeah, come into our gaff and all of this. No, I'm not. Just let's be as arrogant as physically possible. We need to have that attitude, because that's what Roy Keane brought. Remember that? I mean, that's probably my favourite season as a Sunderland fan, purely because I genuinely thought, no matter what the score was, how late it was, we were going to go and win games, because it had that arrogance and that confidence.
Yeah, that swagger, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And I really hope that Phil Parkinson can bring that. I mean, I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, it's down to the players though as well. They've got to back it up, haven't they? We can be the biggest club in this league by an absolute mile, but once that whistle blows, you've got to back it up, really, I think.
Yeah. So, looking forward to Saturday, then, really, it's probably an opportune moment to look at that game. We're playing Shrewsbury away, and on the extra podcast today, Graham had a good chat with the lad from the Shrewsbury podcast, and they aren't playing fantastically this season, but they're mid-table. They've been drawing a lot of games. They haven't been scoring a lot of goals. I think he said seven of their goals have come in 2 of their games so far. We know that Gooch is out. We know that Watmore is a doubt. So what do we think in terms of who he might select? Is it an opportunity for McNulty to play? Is McGeady going to come back in?
Well, let's address the elephant in the room first in McGeady.
Yeah,
because there was after Tuesday, there was a big call to say, does he actually get back in the team? And in reality, he probably will, because
he's the best player in the league, isn't he?
Yeah, but equally, if Gooch is injured and Watmore isn't going to play 3 games in a week, he's going to come back in. But actually, should he is kind of the biggest question.
If everyone was fit from who started on Tuesday night, then I think just for me, McGeady's obviously he's the best player in the league, but due to the emphatic nature of the win, then you would say start the same 11 and let McGeady play his way back in. But with Gooch being out on that left hand side, it just makes sense to slot McGeady in there, right?
Well, hopefully, I mean, he's one who has an arrogant, big time attitude, doesn't he? Let's hope he's seen that game and he's thought, shit, these guys have done this without me. This is, I need to go and prove myself. And as we know, he is the best player in this league. He is on his day. He's got that. He's one of the few who has that piece of magic, who can open up a defense. So you bring him back in. I mean, I think, to be honest, we don't really have that many options other than him, do we?
No.
Particularly if Watmore's out as well. I mean, I guess he's not out, but I think we're almost unanimous in the sense that I wouldn't want to risk him. Maybe have him off the bench and bring McNulty back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully, you can see someone like Aidan McGeady think, I might not get back into this team, and it invigorates him a bit more.
Yeah, I really like the idea of McGeady down the left with his trickery and creativity, and Watmore down the right with his just direct pace. We haven't really seen that before, have we?
Yeah, well, they played it at Wickham, didn't they? But I think did they start McGeady and Watmore? And obviously the performance was shocking. But I think some of that is down to the midfield as well, But I think if you were to put that exact same team that went out Tuesday, but perhaps swap or put McGeady in that, let's say for argument's sake for Gooch. So you've got Grigg, Watmore,
Maguire
and McGeady with Power and Dobson, the extra kind of pace and speed to play. I think McGeady would be picking that ball up in that final third a lot more, and he would do some damage. He'll do some damage against any team in this league if he gets the ball in the right areas. I think against Wickham, from what I remember, a lot of the time he was picking up the ball on the halfway line and just having to play it backward, which is not what he's about.
No.
I really hope it doesn't turn into the fact that I really hope that we can be effective with McGeady in the team, because we've seen that our best performances this season have actually come without him in the team. Hopefully, because if we can get someone like Will Grigg firing and also have McGeady on form, or even making an impact off the bench, I really do think we've got more than a great chance of getting out of this league.
Yeah. You forget that.
Sorry, do you think that the other players are taking more responsibility when McGeady isn't on the pitch?
I think you're exactly right.
They're not just turning to McGeady and saying, do something.
Give it to Aiden.
Make something happen.
I hope so. That's that attitude we've been talking about. That's what you want. Hopefully that responsibility. They're not just saying, as I said, give the ball to Aiden, he'll do something. Because that's what it's felt like, hasn't it? At times, it's felt like, well, if Aiden doesn't do something, how are we going to score? I mean, it doesn't help when you've got someone like Charlie White up front I know some people like him, but I think he's useless himself. But I hope if he comes in the weekend, which he probably will, because was he suspended for Tuesday?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He was. Yeah.
If he comes back in, we should be rolling teams like Shrewsbury over. Come on. I mean, they only put one past Tranmere, and Tranmere were down to 10 men. So, I mean, surely that speaks volumes.
If they've been struggling for goals, like I was saying, and it's a good place to go. Shrewsbury, it's a nice ground. It's not, it's modern. It's got a good pitch from my memory from going last year, because it's actually kind of, until Tranmere are in the league, it's the closest game to where I live in North Wales. So we were down there last year. It was my little lad's first ever game. And it was great. It's a great place to go for a game of football. If anyone's going, there's a supermarket car park around the corner. Park up, walk around the corner, and you're straight in the away end. It's a nice away day. But I think that we could well turn them over. But I don't think it'll be easy. I think they're quite defensively strong.
They do have Donald Love, right?
They do have Donald Love. Yeah, I wasn't really even aware of that until the day.
Yeah, so McGeady better be on his best form against the D-Love. Yeah.
Come on. I mean, if we're coming up against a team who start Donald Love, how lads, we've got to put these to the sword. Come on.
See, at risk of getting carried away, I think if we start with just as an attacking lineup, so I don't want to see Ledbetter come back in. I want to see Dobson and Power in there. I want to see McGeady in for Gooch. I want to see McNulty in for Watmore. That starting 11 to go out at Shrewsbury, I don't care whether we're away, what their record is, we should be blowing them away. I would be disappointed if we go out with the same attacking lineup. I'll be disappointed if it's maybe not a clean sheet, but if it's not 3-1, 4-2, something like that, I probably would be a bit disappointed, because it's teams like that which a Jack Ross team would have got a 1-1 or may have scraped a 2-1, but Jack Ross played two holding midfielders away every single game, and we're better than that. We're much better than that. Let's go out and I don't, like I said before, I don't care if we don't keep clean sheets. If we score at risk of saying a banned name from the podcast, let's have the Kevin Keegan attitude of you score 2, we'll score 4, that sort of thing. It didn't work out quite so well for him, as we know, but the talent's there. Let's just go out and make teams scared of us, because I don't think teams are scared of us at the moment.
No. Well, there might be after Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think it sends a message, doesn't it? Definitely. And we've got a decent run of games coming up where we can pick up some points. We've got Southend at home week after, and we've got a game in between that, haven't we?
We've got Oxford in the cup.
Yeah, I do worry about all these stuff, to be honest. I mean, I know Oxford's the what round are we? Are we the last 16?
Last 16, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Get
I mean,
the quarters.
hopefully we can get into the quarters. But the whole checker trade, or whatever it's called, in the FA Cup. Personal opinion, I'd rather just be out of them, just concentrate on the league.
No, I'm all about just. I want to get to Wembley again. Come on.
I'm not sure we'll get there in the FA Cup.
Yeah, but no, but
League Cup, yeah, but
Cup. And it's. I mean, Howie, if you beat a team like, we should be beating a team like Oxford, I think so anyway.
Yeah,
because you might get ourselves even if we get ourselves a nice away day in, Manchester or somewhere like that, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's what I'd like. I'd be happy with that. If we had an away draw at, say, a Man City or someone like that, I'd be happy to go down there, watch the game, and actually we go out and be like, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's it. That's our FA Cup journey over. Right, let's go smash the league.
That's what I want. I mean, again, like living where I live, quite out on a limb, the idea of having a away evening fixture against, Everton, Liverpool, Man City, Man United would just be an absolute dream. My little lad's already got it booked in his diary, I think. Hoping that we get an away draw against them and I can pick them up from school and go straight over there. That would be fantastic. And again, I agree. I wouldn't particularly mind. I mean,
let's not look past Oxford, because we have struggled against them in the past a little bit. So
yeah, we have.
So we've all been so positive.
Really
well. 1-5-0 win, and all of a sudden we're going to win the FA Cup.
Exactly right.
We're going to put 5 past Shrewsbury.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1-0 win to Shrewsbury on Saturday. It's dull. It's going to be dour, and all of our great spirits are going to be completely dampened.
Parky out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's start look back again. It seems an age ago now, but we had our ROKER Report Exiles Wacky Races away day in Wickham on Saturday, and joining us down there, well, we had Paul and Bomber. You were both there, along with Niall, Gary, Brett and his dad Danny, and John came down from Lincoln with Niall in the car, and me and my lad Tom were there as well. So last time you were on the pod, Paul, you were talking to Brett about the trip, and Brett predicted that it would be a great day at the football ruined by the football. Was that how it was for you?
Yeah.
It was a weird day. How was it?
Nailed it in terms of prediction. Absolutely nailed it. That's exactly what it was. No, it was really good to meet everyone and put names to faces. Faces to names. That's the one. Really good day. But I mean, less said about the performance, the better. Though I did quite enjoy the ground. I thought the ground was sort of old school, proper old school football, right on top of the pitch.
Yeah, we had a decent view, to be fair, Paul, didn't we?
Yeah, it's quite romantic. I mean, not like that, but it was, it was.
I wondered why you were trying to hold my hand.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the highlight of the game, apart from holding Bomber's hand, was at one point cheering Will Grigg closing down the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And I turned to Gary, who's in the group, and I said, "This is how low we sort of sunk. We're cheering Will Grigg closing down the goalkeeper." But yeah, it was a great day, but not the best performance, was it?
No, it was. I would echo that point. It was a great day for me. The result was disappointing, and the performance was even worse. But getting to meet everybody, like you said, putting some faces to names, and just for me, that's the first time ever I've been in an away end at a Sunderland game with people who I, in inverted commas, know. So I've always either gone up on my own or I've gone up with a friend, but we've had to go in the home end. So it was a new experience for me, and it was absolutely class, and one that, on the back of that, I want to do a lot more. I do think for me that the highlight was actually the Wickham fans. So those people who are at the game or who have watched the highlights will pick up that their goalkeeper was the worst bloke in the history of the world. He was taking 20 seconds to kick the ball out of his hands. So all the Sunderland fans are going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the Wickham fans for the last 10 minutes of the game were just chanting, "You only sing when you're counting," and that it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that tickled me.
Yeah, it was good. Akinfenwa was good value as well. To be fair, I've got some newfound respect for Akinfenwa as a result of that.
Yeah, but it's just a proper football ground, isn't it? I don't know. It's better than. I prefer that than going to the Emirates, personally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a great place to go and watch football. It's a hell of a long walk away from where you get off buses or park your car. Unbelievable. But a lovely ground, a decent burger. I have to say, outside. That was quite nice. And yeah, I mean, it was a terrible performance, but that's already been dealt with, hasn't it?
It was a bit of a nightmare getting in, wasn't it? There was only like those two little turnstiles that everyone was trying to get in through. So it was a bit of a nightmare getting in. I think some people actually missed the kickoff because that was a bit of a squeeze. But yeah, the ground itself, once you're in, was fantastic.
Yeah.
No, a good place to go and play football, but not a team I'd like to go and see every week, I have to say. Apart from Acast, well, as you say, who a lot more, a decent footballer. He does what he does, doesn't he? He brings the ball down or heads it on and lays it off.
But he was killing Lynch and Willis in the air.
They couldn't handle him. No,
not at all. And I think people call him a bit of a caricature of a footballer, and he's nothing but a meme and whatever. But he's effective at what he's there to do.
Yeah.
He is very effective.
Yeah, you play to your strengths, don't you? Then
Yeah, totally. So, lads, we're gonna play our game, playing away. Martin Wanless, our Australia-based exile, dreamed up this game where basically the host, which is me this week, picks a game from the past, an away game in this case, from this day in history. So it's the 24th of October when we're recording. And I've picked a game 20 years ago to the day.
Oh, brilliant.
God.
Okay.
20 years ago to the day. 20 years ago to the day, Sunderland played West Ham United away and drew 1-1. I'm not going to give you the goal scorer. But who wants to come in and try and guess this classic 1999 Sunderland's 11?
What division are we talking?
We're talking about the Premier League.
Premier League, yeah.
Okay.
If you want a bit of context.
So they got relegated, right?
No. This was the 7th out of a 10-game unbeaten run.
So Tommy Sorensen's in goal in 99, right?
He absolutely is.
Yeah.
This isn't much of a challenge, to be honest.
No, I'd say Chris Macon at right back.
Yeah.
Michael Gray at left back.
Yeah.
And then centre halves. Was that
Butler?
the season of Stan?
Okay, Paul
Yeah,
Butler.
maybe Butler, yeah.
Butler's in there.
Yeah. Bald? Steve Bald?
Steve Bald.
Yeah. Summerby.
Yeah, Quinn and Phillips.
Yeah.
Quinn Phillips. This isn't challenging at all.
No.
Stephen Schwartz.
Stephen Schwartz, yeah. Who are the central midfield pairings?
Oh, okay. Ball.
Studsy McCann.
Yeah, Gavin McCann's in there. Ball's not.
So how are we on now? Is that 9?
We have one player left, and it's Alex Ray.
Yes. Good night. Thank you very much.
Got to be the easiest one ever.
You say that, I contributed absolutely nothing.
Well, I tell you what, Bomber. Can you guess the substitutes that day then?
Oh Jesus!
Sub striker should be easy if it wasn't Quinn and Phillips.
Did you? Sorry, I apologise.
I had Dickie it just coming out my mouth, so that's why I was claiming it. All right.
Our utility player back then, I guess, Darren Williams.
Wow.
And cultured central midfielder, Bomber.
Oh, I don't know.
On the bench.
That's how good we were.
A Frenchman.
Yeah.
It was Eric Roy.
Yeah, Eric
Roy on the bench.
I wouldn't have got that one. I wouldn't have got that.
It's a bit obscure.
Eric, God, we're good. Yeah.
But I was looking up the game, and I saw it was Phillips who scored. He scored on the 19th minute. On the 28th minute, which was after Steve Bold was sent off. And anyone remember why Steve Bold was sent off? Because it's glorious.
No, dude. Is this from headbutting or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, remembered. Who remembered that?
No, I don't remember it. I just thought it's Steve Bold, isn't it? So
he headbutted Paolo Wanchop in an off-the-ball incident. Unbelievable. But,
didn't Trevor Sinclair score, I think, at late goal?
He did. 89th minute.
that West Ham side was good, actually.
Do you know what? That game was notable for a 17-year-old Joe Cole making his debut.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so that would have been a team that had, Paolo Canio play there?
It had Canio in it. It had...
was Frank Lampard there?
Aye, Frank Lampard in the middle. No, it was a classic West Ham team as well.
I think we were top.
That would have had Rio in it then as well, wouldn't it? If you got Joe Cole and...
Yeah.
Yeah, it had Rio Ferdinand in it. And we would, if we'd won that game, we would have gone top of the league.
Yeah.
So it just showed where
How the mighty have fallen.
20 years to the day ago, we could have gone top of the Premier League.
And in no way is that depressing.
No.
Well, no, but it does. What it shows me is, when I started watching Sunderland back in like 1989, we were, not a fantastic team. Well, we were in the Championship, and within 10 years we were nearly top of the league. It wasn't even a Championship back then, was it? It was Division 2.
Yeah.
Within 10 years, we're nearly top of the Premier League, and football changes. And
20 years later, look at us now.
Yeah.
You're talking about smashing Shrewsbury.
20 years time, lads.
Yeah.
Well, that season was an absolute classic with Kevin Phillips finishing 30 goals that year.
That was one of my first seasons. I think it was only 11 at the time.
Wow, bloody hell. Young kid.
Making you feel old.
Now, but Ben, well, I was 17 at the time, and I was going out to pubs and that, and it was what a time to be a Sunderland fan, and hopefully we can get back to something like that in reasonably short time. So that is playing away, and I'm sure when we have another pod next week, I'll find another classic game.
Have you got a jingle? You need to get some sort of jingle.
We need to get a jingle. I'm sure Sean will get onto it and roll one in there.
Away from here by the enemy, something like that. That's quite good.
Well, there you go. Maybe we can find that one. So a couple of bits of like housekeeping. Well, really, we've got a branch shout out. We have been scouring social media for branch shout outs this week. We didn't stumble across any, but tweet us if you have got a branch meetup, from a branch around the UK or around the rest of the world. The North American Supporters Association, NASA, have a meetup in Toronto on Saturday. You might be listening to this on Saturday, so get yourself along to Toronto if you're in that area. They'll be meeting up, and you'll be able to find the details on their social media. And I also wanted to give a quick call out to the glorious Sunderland AFC women's team, who won again at the weekend, won again on Sunday. The 3-1 win away at Nottingham Forest with Grace Nagati, Katie Barker and Bridget Galloway getting on the score sheet again. Next Sunday, they're away again in the East Midlands at Derby. They've had an unbeaten start to the season as they push to try and get back in the second tier. So it's positive news all round within the club. And if you're listening on the way down to Shrewsbury on Saturday, I might well see you there. I think Michael from Ireland's going to be there as well, and he'll be on the pod with me next week. Any last words, lads?
No, just
nothing. Just
keep an eye out, really.
Yeah, keep an eye out for the 5-0 win on Saturday.
Exactly right.
Great. Well, looking forward to it, and lovely to speak to you all. Cheers, Jim and Paul and Bomber, and
Thanks,
we'll speak to you all soon.
Thanks, Rick. All the best.
Cheers, guys.
All right.